Welcome. My name is Solange Ellen, and I'm just recording my little True News update, having returned this morning from the Elizabeth Magical Magistrates Court, where I was summoned to appear based on false allegations made against me by a Masonic police officer named Bianca Avery, who attacked me and assaulted me at my home, abducted me unlawfully, herself and Officer Holt and Officer Kevin. They took me to the Elizabeth police cages back on September 23rd, 2021, and she conducted a medical gang rape on me, taking a DNA sample completely against my will and with no reason, because I'm not a criminal. I had caused no harm, no loss. I had actually intervened in what was a really dangerous situation to save police lives from the dangerous criminal that was posing as my husband, who's actually a very serious abuser. He's abused me, he's used me as a sex slave under trauma-based mind control. He and my son Kai are both very serious abusers that I have had to emancipate myself from. I've had to cut all ties with them at law. They're not trusted people, they're abusers. And I've reported this abuse, this very serious abuse, to police when they were medically abducting me from Kangaroo Island under their Mental Health Magical Powers Acts. Debbie Cornfield, Detective Debbie Cornfield, took a statement, and then she went away and put a note on the system to say, I will investigate those allegations once she's released from mental health, which was such a criminal thing to do. You know, either completely incompetent, complete breach of trust. She was either completely incompetent or she's a cult criminal, because what that did was give my abusers that have access to all of this information on the system computers the notification that don't allow her to escape from mental health or she's going to talk. So thanks for that, Debbie. Really greatly appreciated. I've noted that I haven't heard a word from you, so you haven't done any follow-up, because clearly no one actually cares. No one cares that I've been abused. No one cares that I've barely escaped with my life, that I've been hunted and targeted, terrorised, traumatised. The abuse that I've been subjected to is horrific, and people don't want to talk about it. I get it. I don't actually want to talk about it either. What I have asked for is the most basic and fair remedy to just have their criminal false allegations removed from the system. Just remove the targeting from my name. That's what I asked the magical magistrate for today. Just remove the targeting so that I'm free to get on with my life in peace. That's all I want. You know, Toby's a criminal. He's openly threatened my life and threatened physical harm. I can't go back to the home that was my family home that I worked for. He's stolen that. He's laid false claim to everything for himself. Him and his mistress, Felicia Namia, taken everything that I've worked honestly for, and they're a pair of criminals, pair of cult criminals. Disgusting creatures, not good humans at all. And I can't go back to my home under threat of death or physical harm. And there's a penalty of 5 years for threatened life, and penalty of 5 years for threatened physical harm. So where's the honest coppers? Where's the honest investigation? Toby planned to shoot police. You can see he went and got the tractor and pushed that up against the gate, you know, which was clearly meant to symbolise an act of aggression on his part. That wasn't me. I was the one holding the People's Peace Alliance sign and talking to police using my words. I don't actually own a gun. I've never owned a gun. I don't have a gun. I don't want a gun. I don't need a gun. I don't want one. The only reason that we had guns was Toby. He's the gun holder, both registered and unregistered. That was all him, always. The only time I ever had a gun in my hand is when Toby put it in my hand. So that I somehow got framed by the media and by the cult and by the court and by the Masonic police as the dangerous person is beyond me. You know, it's a conspiracy, a real one, conspiracy fact. They have ganged up and conspired because I'm speaking out against the family cult. They don't want me talking. They're trying to maintain their false claims to jurisdiction over me, which they don't have. And I discussed that with the magistrate again today, that they've been asked to provide evidence of lawful sovereignty, which they failed to do. They have no jurisdiction. I'm a free woman, protected by the real sovereign law holders here in Kaurna Nation and under international law. That's the truth. But they don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth because the people support the fraud. So regardless of, you know, what's actually true or what's real or what's in the best interest of me as a victim and a survivor, they just want to continue to steamroll ahead pretending that they have jurisdiction they don't have. And I put them on notice that for every day that they continue to maintain their false claims to jurisdiction over me, the bill for that is $1 million a day. That's been noted in the court records, if that means anything. It doesn't really mean anything because they just control all of that information. It's a private corporation. They're not answerable to the community or the public. It's all an insiders club. The lawyers and the judges and the police. They're all in bed together. They're all in a club, managing the rest of us like human cattle. They're all getting paid to demand that I turn up whenever they want so that they can traumatise me again, re-traumatise me, harass me, attack me, ignore me. They're all getting paid and they're stealing days of my life that I can never get back. I can't get them back. I can't get the 27 days that they just stole, keeping me unlawfully trapped in Glenside mental health facility. And that was all Kai, my son Kai, working, conspiring with psychiatrists, Dr. Marty and Dr. Allison, behind my back, Dr. Antoinette Bierman, Dr. Derek Black, talking to Kai as if he's a trusted family member when I've reported to them that he is one of my most serious abusers and he's not trusted and they are not to share any information with him. That I've emancipated myself from him and from Toby. They're criminals. They've hurt me. They've used me. They've abused me. They've destroyed my life. And still the doctors conspired with Kai because they were trying to use their Mental Health Magical Powers Act to deem me incompetent, delusional and incompetent, unfit to manage my own affairs, unfit to manage my own estate, so that Kai could claim to be my next of kin and take over and officially steal property from me. They're not good people. They're not good. They've hurt me. And who am I meant to tell about that? Because I've told Detective Debbie Cornfield. I've told the magistrate when they were holding me in the city watch house last time after I was released from the 27 days in torturous hell in the Glenside rural and remote mental health institution. Then put through the watch house, speak to another magical magistrate who demanded I appear today, the 21st of December, in Elizabeth. So I've reported my abuse to 2 magistrates and a detective, and they don't bat an eyelid. They don't bat an eyelid. There's no humanity, there's no genuine care or concern, there's no real investigation, nothing. And my abusers are still free, totally free. Toby, the one that has threatened my life and threatened physical harm against me, is free. He's a free man, doing whatever he wants. Because there's no consequence, because he's got the magical immunity of being in the Freemasons' Masonic club, the family cult. They're in the club. That means you're above the law. You're not subject to the law like the rest of the cattle class. I'm still being dragged through the courts more than a year later, after I was attacked and then assaulted, abducted, medically raped, and then tortured, held in isolation for 3 weeks in the Yatala Women's Prison. All of this has happened to me, and no peace for me. I've just been hunted relentlessly ever since, and they want to continue. So the magistrate today ignored everything, all the honest information, all the true conversation, ignored everything, and just steamrolled over me to appoint another date, which is not until the 29th of May at 9:30, 2023. So they want to continue to maintain their completely fraudulent claims to jurisdiction over me, even though they work for a criminal corporation that's trespassing here on Kaurna Nation, sovereign soil. They got no permission to trade. I said, fine, if there has to be a trial, it has to be a trial by jury, a jury of my peers. You know, let's open this up. It's not going to be a little closed, controlled court and conversation where all the cult criminals get together, gang up and conspire, make up whatever they want, then tell the media, put it all over the news so that the blindly trusting public believe whatever they see on their TV. That's what they've done. They've used the media to frame me, a woman that's been standing for truth and peace and freedom and real child protection and restoring the real law. They've used the media to frame me as some sort of dangerous criminal and destroy my peace and destroy my good name in the community. And I have done more unpaid community service in my lifetime than anyone else I know. Anyone else I know. I've done so much work and supported so many people over so many years with so many different projects, and always community building and networking and trying to lift other people up, trying to help people. And these cult criminals all want to conspire against me and badmouth me and label me as either a criminal or a crazy person. You got all their, media catchphrases, the conspiracy theorist or the right-wing extremist or the gun nut or the sovereign citizen, which I am not. I don't even know who made up that rubbish, sovereign citizen rubbish. I don't know who made that up. The sovereignty belongs to the original nations and the original people. For us as people, living men and living women, standing on the original nation, we have the right and the responsibility to be self-governing, not to be controlled by these globalist, banking cartel, Illuminati, Freemason cult people that want to push out their pedophile policies through all the corporations. And the only way we're going to change anything, guys, is through honest conversation. So that's what I said I'm going to be doing. I'm working with the original Kaurna sovereigns, the law holders, the real law holders. I'm working with them. I'm under their protection. They're protecting me. That's why I'm still alive, guys. I'm protected under the sovereignty of the nation on which I stand, and I'm protected in international law. And that's available to everyone when we acknowledge the truth. So we're going to be holding honest conversations and educating people about peaceful freedom, peaceful lawful remedy, peaceful solutions. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm going to be doing, so that by the time this next cult hijacking of my life comes about, not only are they going to owe me $1 million a day for every day between now and then, which will give us plenty of money, for all of our projects that we want to work on. So that's great. The corporation can pay, and it should. It owes for the destruction of my life and my peace, and we'll use that money for good. So they can pay. But in that window of time, we're going to be working together to educate people about what lawful sovereignty is, what it means, and jurisdiction of law, and what is lawful and what is not. Because this legal system is all witchcraft. That's the reality. That's the facts of the matter. So, Bianca Officer Avery. Didn't say that right. Sorry, I've got trauma brain. I really do. Like, people are not comprehending how traumatised I am. I'm not okay. I've been so seriously abused for so long. I need peace. I need to be safe. And I need to be under attack by these cult criminals using their system to gang up and conspire against me. Officer Bianca Avery, who is the one holding the fraudulent allegations that I assaulted her, which is not true, and all we need to do is go to the body cam. So Officer Bianca Avery had body cam, Officer Holt and Officer Kevin. So those three are all need to be investigated. They've all committed serious crimes directly against me, and they did it twice. So they were the same three officers that were involved in the incident where they did the road hijacking, and they smashed a window in on me and pulled me out of the car and then dragged me through the cells again. Same officers. So it's not random. This is targeted abuse of me as a whistleblower, because I've escaped their little Illuminati cult, their family cult. And they want to shut me up by any means necessary. They're trying to lock me up. They're trying to drug me up. They're trying to get me under mental health. But they have no jurisdiction. That's a fact. That's the reality. And it's actually the community, the rest of the people that still believe that these corporations are legitimate, that's holding all this fraud in place and enabling them to continue to abuse me. If the people all were honestly educated and informed and empowered, then they wouldn't be able to get away with this. They're only able to get away with it because the people are deceived. The people have been lied to, and the people are afraid. Of course people are afraid. They're meant to be. That's how the cult has maintained its power, through trauma-based mind control, terrorising people into submission, like, don't speak out or you'll be next. You'll be the target. People say that to me. I would love to be a more, vocal public support, but we don't want to end up in the position where you are, Solly. We don't want to end up on the receiving end. Well, I get that. I don't want anyone else ever to be on the receiving end of what I am being subjected to still. But the way to stop that is for us to unite in the truth, and you to come together and help me so that we can do this together as a collective. Because if we allow them to keep operating the way they do, they work in packs and they isolate and target individual victims, be it, a family at a time or a business at a time or an individual at a time. That's how they work. They work in gangs and packs of all these, people in different positions of falsely assumed authority and fake friends. They'll send in, fake boyfriends or fake girlfriends, fake wives, fake husbands. It's organised crime, guys. And the good people of good faith, honest people that just want to be able to be free to get on with our lives in peace and privacy, need to educate ourselves and come back to the real law, because the real law is peace. It is about maintaining peace. And if police were working for the people, you know, and swore an oath to the land, to the nation, the sovereign nation, and the real law holders, the people of the land, to be peacekeepers, we could turn this around really quickly. We stop listening to pedophile policy. We stop allowing the few powerful cult criminals to run the agenda. And we open up the conversation. So it's we the people, we the community, talking with our elders and our real law holders to have policy that's about helping people and healing, protecting people, meeting people's real needs, making sure people have homes and food and shelter and safety. All the things that we need as humans. Kindness, people to care about us. That's the only reason I'm alive, is because of the kind people who have actually protected and sheltered me and funded me, angel funded me. So I'm very grateful. You know, I want to get strong and, you know, be able to re-establish myself and support myself, you know, in some way. And that's what I'll be working on next too. Just get through Christmas, right? That's what we're all got to do now. Hopefully enjoy some peace with our families and actually just loving each other. And yeah, having honest conversations as much as we can, because that's where all our power is. Not fighting with each other, not arguing about, you know, rubbish on the TV, but talking about how we can actually help each other and what we really need to look after ourselves and each other going forward. All right, I love you guys.